Hey everyone, welcome back to the CKA series. Today we are diving into a crucial aspect of Kubernetes, ensuring your cluster remains highly available even during maintenance or upgrades. We'll cover everything from maintaining nodes safely, troubleshooting issues, to safeguarding crucial data with ETCD backups and restores. And also, if you're really serious about mastering Kubernetes, don't forget to check out our free masterclass. Many of our learners like Narinder, Akhil, Vishal have successfully earned their CKA certifications through our expert guidance. So this is your chance to go deep into Docker, Kubernetes and AWS services, preparing you for CKA, CKS and CKAD certifications. So you can register through the link in the description box. Now let's get started.
How to do the maintenance. Consider that if something happened to some nodes, or you are going to upgrade anything or patch something at the operating system level, or you're going to upgrade the nodes maybe with some kubectl some different versions, how to vacate your nodes, or maybe how to make your node unschedulable. Okay, how to tell scheduler to don't schedule any application on this node because I'm going to do some maintenance, some cleanup job at the node level where I don't want any application to be scheduled on this node until I do my job. So what are the commands I need to use? Okay, hey kubectl -help, go and take a help, and you will get to see the maintenance, the cluster management command, some like cordon, uncordon and drain. These are the three commands which will help you a lot while doing the maintenance. These are the three commands you need to know regarding cordon. Mark, which means mark the node as unschedulable, which tell scheduler to don't schedule up any application on this node. Cordon. Uncordon, mark node as schedulable. Now everything is fine on this node. I have troubleshooted everything. I have upgraded everything. I have patched everything. Now you can schedule. Hey scheduler, please schedule any application. Drain, make a preparation. Drain in node in preparation for the maintenance. Those application on running on that node, please migrate those application on healthy nodes. Okay, so let me create one deployment kubectl, create deployment, create kubectl, create deployment, and the name of the deployment is main application, main hyphen app, and hyphen hyphen image is equal to httpd, and hyphen hyphen replicas is equal to 10. I'm just deploying some application on this cluster. Kubectl get ports -o wide. Fine. I can get to see lot of application scheduled on node 1 and node 2. Nobody is scheduled on which node? Master node. Why? What is the reason why your master is not allowing to run any application? Because we have a tainted the master, which is repelling any part, which is not allowing any application to run on the master node. Yes. Can I able to run any application on the master node as well? Yes. What is the thing I need to add to run my application on the master node as well? Inside my application YAML manifest, I need to add toleration at the pod level. So the first thing, the first command we are going to execute is hey kubectl cordon. The name of the node is cube hyphen node 1. Okay, cordon cube hyphen node 2. Good. Now if you see kubectl get pods, not pods, kubectl get pods, all are running happily. Okay, now the another thing is kubectl get nodes. What is the thing I get to see when you do the cordon? What is the job of cordon? Which make your application scheduling disabled. Scheduling disabled. Now if I create another deployment, kubectl create deployment, the name of the deployment is test app. Same, everything is same. What do you think? they will go for pending state or running state. kubectl get pods or kubectl get deployment, and the name of the deployment is this. Is there any application which is in ready state? No, because we have made, if I to how to make your node again schedulable, uncordon. Now kubectl, the same thing. Let me make cordon to uncordon on kube node to uncordon. Now kubectl get deployment. The name of the deployment is test-app. What do you think? All will be in running state? 10 out of 10? Yes. Now what is our use of drain? What does the mean in real world drain? In the sense moving something or removing something, terminating. Now on which node this test app application running? Emptying. Now kubectl get pods -o wide. All the test pods are running on node 2. If you see node 2, let me make one thing. Let me drain kube node 2 to migrate all the application on node 1. Okay, so the command is kubectl drain cube hyphen node 2. Will throw an error. Hey Mudassir, there are some daemon set running. I need to ignore those daemon set? Yes, because I need monitoring while doing the troubleshooting. Yes. Okay. What is the status? If you see evicting means all the pods are evicted to healthier node. Yes, your node 2 is drained. Now kubectl get pods -o wide. On which node all the pods to be scheduled on? On node 1. If your node 1, but your node 1 is allowing anyone because it is kubectl get nodes. Yes. How to? Kubectl uncordon. The name of the node is kube node 1. kubectl get pods -o wide. Now all the pods in running state. If you see, all are in running state. Where they are scheduled? On node 1. Okay. Now I done my job on node 2. I think we are good. I patched anything. If I want to run anything, maybe at the OS level, at the kernel level, I want to upgrade something. I do DNF. By using DNF, I install some libraries, something related to my application, which are needed to be at the host level, at the kernel level. So we are good. Now kubectl on drain node as well. I need to use uncordon. Uncordon kube hyphen node 2. Uncordon kubectl get nodes. All are schedulable. So how you are going to upgrade your Kubernetes cluster? So in our scenario, we are going to explore the documentation, and from the documentation, we are going to get the information regarding how to upgrade the Kubernetes cluster. Kubernetes cluster upgrade. In the exam as well, you can use this, maybe the documentation for your upgrade. So this is what upgrading Kubernetes cluster from 1.28.29, upgrading Kubernetes cluster from 127 to 128, 127 to 127. So they have the documentation, and the upgrade workflow at high level is the following. First, upgrade primary control planes and your addition control planes, and upgrade your worker nodes. So these are the things. So this page explain you how to upgrade your Kubernetes cluster. So now before you begin with, make sure maybe what are the things you need to ensure, and how the Kubernetes, you need to follow these things. Read notes, what are the things. Okay, so additional information and consideration. Let me click on we are running with 1.27. Let's learn how to migrate to 1.28. Yes. So in our scenario, what we are doing? So first, we need to start upgrading our main control plane, the master node, and then go for worker nodes. So what are the things we need to first? We need to, these are the commands have given in the documentation. I'm executing those commands one by one. Okay. First, my operating system is cat / etc host / OS release. So this is my Ubuntu. Fine. So here you have Ubuntu or CentOS commands. Both the commands have given. So for Ubuntu, for Debian, for HyperOS. So these are the commands. First, let me do the apt-update with the newest package for my operating system. Yes. So now after that, I need to check. So what is the package? The Kubedium. What are the new versions we have for the package? So these are the different versions what we have for our Kubedium 2712, 2711, 2710. Now we have the latest is 27.13. Okay, fine. So now by default, so your package is in hold for any to avoid any auto updates. We usually once we done with the cluster, we usually hold that package to avoid any auto updates. First, I need to unhold apt mark unhold the Kubedium. Yes, cancel the hold. After that, I need to update and install the newest version. Newest version, that is insert, I think 0. Let's go with 00. Let me try. Stable, I'm just downloading the version 128. It's not found. I need to know how to give the version 0. Yes. First, yes, got it. So let me go with 1-00. We need to go with just one, I think. Yes, the Kubernetes 1.28.1-00 is not available. So recently they have changed the repository. Let me go with update and 1.28 dot. Let me 1.28.1.00. What am I missing? I need to avoid this double quote or the single quote. Okay, cube ADM version. So we having a version, the CubeADM version is okay. V1 dot upgrading our control planes. So here they are going with V1 dot 27.12. The major version. Yes. Yes. Recently from the 27, they have changed the repository to download and they have changed the way. So here, let me apply the version. Now we are in 27. We need to move to 1.28 dot. Let me try with 3. So let me go with the upgrade plan. So what are the versions available before installing? Yeah, try with 1.21.8. Mm-hmm. So no, kubectl will get. Uh, so in the command one dot, we are missing just the way we need to supply the 1.28. So if we configure that, if we supply that information correctly, then I think 1.20x is RL update flannel s. So we are just installing the Kubernetes package. So let me try. I think so they need to give the information. So what are the versions available? 1.27, no, or else let's 1.28.7 hyphen 00. We are missing some minor version. Okay, okay, okay. First thing, got it. So we need to configure new repository. So we have not done that. Okay, for every, so because the changing the package repository, so changing the Kubernetes package repository. Okay, this is for 27. Okay, we need to add this. Got it. Deprecated the frozen. So from the 2023, okay, it's not that. So recently they added the change the repository from 28. So as you are viewing the documentation for Kubernetes 1.28, fine. Deprecated new package repository. So how to add? Got it. So this is copy. Let me add that. And then so yes, overwrite sudo update -y. For CentOS, you need to add this 28 version. Now let me go and verify. 27 with 1. Aha. I think I'm missing something. I have reconfigured the repository cd slash etc apt keyrings ls dpg key apt keep cat escape colon wq exclamation. So now let me do rm-rf ls rm-rf this. Okay, cd enter. So now the stable version. Let me add echo. Then apt, good. And then apt hyphen update. Then after doing the update, let me go with 21.28.2 1.28.2 20. Let me go with 2 hyphen 1.1. Yes. So they have changed the way how to supply. So in packing everything. So first, because I need to upgrade my tool, the KubeADM. So then only it's going to work. So that's the reason. And after that, so again, I need to mark that as hold. So now what is the version? Your 28.2 something, the minor version. And then let me request for what are the different KubeADM upgrade plans are available. Okay. So here you have 28.9 target, lot of stuff. So now let me go to 28.1, the 9. Yes, QDM, you can now apply the upgrade by executing the following command. Let me upgrade. First, I need to upgrade my QBDM and then specified version to upgrade to is higher than the QBDM version. Okay, now up QBDM upgrade plan. Also, what is the command? So now let me use this command .2. Otherwise, I need to give minor version as well. Yes, I'm moving from 27 1.2 to 28. Yes. So recently they has changed this repository before 27. So in easy way, so we can update. But now they have changed the repositories from 28. So we need to add new GPG keys and then yes. Yeah. So if you follow the documentation, there itself we have the answers for all the stuff. Now successfully it's going to upgrade your maybe the KubeADM and your all the cluster components like Kube API, the Kube, your Kube API server, Kube scheduler, Kube controller manager. Yes, and then I need to install the kubelet, and then I need to install the kubectl, the CLI with the same version. So like that, for every node, I need to go manually and then install the KubeADM, and then I need to apply this upgrade. It is little painful, but you need to know. Is this going to be same in exam? No. In 1.29, you don't have to configure anything. You need to follow just documentation. So automatically when they grade the cluster, they automatically have configured that repo, Antonia. You don't have to. So while creating itself, for 127, you don't have to configure any repo. So that's the reason why you are getting that stuff. But if something happened, so you need to know how to get the help from the documentation, how I used, you can route anywhere in the documentation and get, they will give specific version. you don't have to worry about the versions. So in our scenario, we just maybe we won't had any idea how to have what are the different minor versions we had, because here they are not giving. So now we just upgraded. Now kubectl upgrade apply. So then I need to drain the nodes. Kubectl drain the node name. Kubectl drain node name is mudassir-cube-master, and then ignore what is the use of drain, you know that. So it is going to, I need to add, it's not taking this command. Yeah, drain hyphen use delete empty directory data. Yeah, yes, evicting all the pods from the master node. Yeah, so in that scenario, so now we prefer to go with configuration management tools like Terraform, Ansible. You need to write maybe the playbook, and automatically it will maybe do your job. And then we need to upgrade our kubelet and our kubectl as well. Let me unhold them, and then I need to install them as well. So for that reason, I need to open another notepad here. I need to add 1.28.2 hyphen 1.1 2 hyphen 1.1. Let me copy. Here we are manually doing, but it is not possible if you have 10 nodes, 100 nodes. So we won't prefer to go with manual way. We use Ansible on top of Kubernetes. So to manage my hosts. So now if I go and check, hey kubectl get nodes. I'm missing something. Yes, systemctl daemon reload, systemctl restart kubelet. What I'm missing? Drain uncordon command. Yes, uncordon. The name of the node is cube-master. Now kubectl get nodes. Can you get to see? Your master is in 1.28.2 and your other nodes are in 27.12. So that's where upgrades maybe. So this is how the things works with upgrades. So you need to follow the documentation and then just copy and paste those commands, and you're good. You don't have to do anything more, and just change the version. And then now here they are showing how to upgrade the worker nodes, the Linux nodes, as well as the Windows nodes. Again here as well. So this is how first it will maybe this is how the upgrade apply works. Maybe you need to go through this one more time. And then I think, yes, if you follow this documentation, you don't have to remember anything. And because we won't do these jobs, that's why I'm just maybe pushing you people, showing you the easy way. So we won't, as a developer, we won't allow to do the upgrades. Though those are the things were taken care by our admins, and you don't have to worry about. So if you are writing CKA examination, so why we are doing ignore daemon sets? So what is the use of daemon sets? So they are like your daemon service, which need to be there at any cost on that nodes, like your monitoring solution or for doing observability at host level. So if you want to run those daemons, So if you want to disable, that is also doable. If you don't want to ignore, you want to migrate daemon set pods as well, that is also doable. So yes. So this is regarding maybe how to upgrade. In your scenario, you need to remember this, the documentation way. So because it is easiest way, otherwise it is very difficult job or difficult thing to remember all these things. Yes. How to work with the ETCD backup, how to take a backup of my Kubernetes cluster. So I have running different application, how to take a backup and how to restore that backup to my cluster again. So what is this ETCD? Why we need to know how to take a backup? So ETCD is a key value based database where the information regarding your cluster, it will be persisted in the ETCD. So if you take a backup of ETCD every day, maybe every half an hour, or maybe in every week, so it is a good thing. So if something goes down, just restore, you're going to get the same state, and everything's will go fine. Otherwise, you need to create all those things again. It is very difficult job. So that's where, so you need to know how to work with the ETCD backup and restore. The first thing is my ETCD running as a pod. Every component in Kubernetes cluster is running in as a pod. So hey kubectl get pods. In which namespace? There is a namespace called kube-system. So can you get to see your ETCD pod as well with the name ETCD Mudassir-cube-master on the master node? It is running. Now if you go and check hey kubectl get pod, the name of the pod is etcd hyphen o YAML, show me the YAML hyphen n cube hyphen system. So here, this is the YAML manifest for etcd pod. So here they have given the container, maybe these are the URLs, the client where it is listening, what is the pod IP. So where is the data will be persisted on the host. There will be directory /for/lib/etcd. This is where it going to persist the data. Okay, and all the stuff that your advertise peer URL, your the key file, and your what is the name of the node where it is running, what is the name of the etcd, and what is the image name, what is the version, all the stuff. So now this is your client certificate CA CSCRT, and this is where the keys for present /etc Kubernetes PKI. So now uh, if you go to /var/lib/etcd ls, can you get to see this is a member, and now cd to the etcd member, the directory, and you have own the etcd configuration. We are not teaching any database class here. Okay, so yes, recover with the help of etcd backup without rebuilding the cluster. Yes, anything goes wrong. Yes, how to recover cluster with the help of etcd backup without rebuilding your cluster, everything, all the stuff. So now we need to know how to take a backup. So one way is you need to install the etcd package. You need to install the etcd ctl, the CLI, to interact with my etcd pod. Okay, so now let me install the CLI to interact with the etcd pod. Yes, let me remove RMF and RF. These are the standard commands. So now if you go and request etcd ctl -help, can you get to see? So the etcd ctl just installed. So etcd ctl is simple command line for etcd3 help. Okay, what are the verify the CS the certificates, TLS enabled, certs, and the key identify secure client, whether you are secure client or not. So all those things. Fine. So now how to take a backup? So first thing is, let me run some application. Hey kubectl run. The name of the app is Antholia. The name of the Anthonia. Anthonia. So the name of the app is Anthonia, and hyphen image is equal to nginx. I'm just running some application. So before taking a backup, so kubectl get pods. It is running fine. Assume that I have running lot of applications, and now how to take a backup. So let's go to documentation and search for etcd backup. Again, we are learning, we are not teaching any etcd class here. So we are just learning how to take a backup of our cluster. So once it is required, so I need to know how to take a backup and how to restore that as well. Okay, so if you go to just search for etcd, so they have the documentation for this as well. Backing up an etcd cluster. Okay, so now I need to supply first etcd. So the etcd3 we are using the API, etcd API is equal to 3 etcd ctl, and I need to specify the endpoints, and I need to supply all the credentials, like where is the client certificate, who are you. So the when you talk with etcd, it will request for some credentials, like what is your client, what is your server certificates, what are the keys, all those stuff. So for that reason, so we need to supply all those endpoints, all those credentials. Yes. So now let me write command. First, so you need to get that information from etcd kubectl. Where is that command? Where we listed? Yes, etcd. Yes, this is the YAML. So now let me request. Let me copy the same command, etcd ctl. Here. Okay. I just want to take a snapshot. Snapshot -help. Okay. So these are the stuff you can have. You can save a snapshot. You can restore the snapshot. You can check the status. It is deprecated, something showing. So you can save and restore. So first thing, I just want to save a snapshot. Save. What is the name of the file you want? This name of the file should be, so let me snapshot.db, snapshot.database, and then I need to supply first the client certificate ca.cert client certificate. So ca.cert, the client certificates, the trusted client. This is the path in my cluster. And then I need to supply the server certificate. So identify secure client using the TLS certificate -cert is equal to the server.cert ca.cert. Yes, cert -file, and then keys. Key. So here you need to supply the key where identify secure client using this TLS key file. You are a secure client, you are interacting. So You need to supply that pass the server key. Peer key, server key. Yes, key file slash etc Kubernetes PKI ETCD server key. Yes. So now before executing this command, let me do Control C. Let me do ls. Is there any file snapshot.db on my host? No. So now let me execute this command, which will take a backup of my Kubernetes cluster. What I'm missing? It is snapshot save, snapshot.zb etcdctl, snapshot save hyphen. Okay, got it. What is the missing? The key information hyphen key. Can you get to see? My whole cluster state is saved in the inside this. If I do ls, the file will be created with the name snapshot.db. Here in this file, I have everything. If I share this file to anyone, you can get the cluster, everything. So now let me restore this. Again, the same command I need to use. Rather than snapshot save, I need to request for restore. Okay, I need to supply all this stuff. With that, I need to supply some more information if you want to restore. So with that, I need to supply some information like what is the name of the cluster. Name is equal to everything I will get inside this here. Name is equal to master node Mudassir-cube-master, and I need to help with initial cluster information. So where it is listening, initial, here I think we are searching for save. We need to have help for snapshot restore as well. Initial cluster hyphen, so initial cluster information. Yes, initial cluster, this is where it is listening. I need to add that information. And initial cluster token, you need to remember everything. Initial cluster, initial advertise peer URL as well. Advertise peer URL, advertise peer URL, yes. And then initial cluster token, initial cluster token, advertise cert initial. Okay, let me add that. Okay, so I need to add initial cluster token etcd cluster 01, and the data directory is hyphen data hyphen dir is equal to /var /lib /etcd. So now we have one running pods here in the right side. So now let me delete that pod. Assume that kubectl delete pod hyphen all. I just deleted pod Antonia. I don't have any pod. So kubectl get pod, but I had a file where I had persisted. So what are the pods are running, how my cluster was, all those stuff. So now let me restore. Let me restore the, yes, let me hit enter. Unknown data directory is equal to, yes. Yes, can you get to see here? Restoring the snapshot. This is where path referring and all the stuff. So now let me go and check a kubectl get pods. So this is how you need to ensure. So I'm getting all these commands. First thing is you need to remember this, the data directory, initial cluster information, initial token. So this is where everything is present in the help, but you need to know what are the things. Yes. So now, so you need to remember these commands. But in real world, we won't go with this method. In real world, we have operators. By using operators, so we automatically take a backup. So we have an operators in Kubernetes, operator hub. So this is the operator hubs where ETCD here, can you get to see highly available ETCD cluster, and by using operators we try to take a backups, we try to restore those backups. Yes, so we directly tell where is my S3 AWS S3 bucket. So yes, but behind the scene what is happening, how to recover if your internal ID change, if you change node at the Azure cloud level, how to recover if your internal IP change. So you are just restoring by using a file. You are not specifying anything there. Internal IP change. If we change node at Azure cloud level, so it don't depends on any node IP. Yes. Can you explain the arguments and why need those arguments? Initial token, initial advertise. Okay. So by default, we won't have to remember for the sake of just maybe it is a part of examination. So we need to know that stuff. ETCD CTL restore, because we are not ETCD guys. We are not DB guys. Hyphen hyphen help. Let me try. So when you initial advice peer URL, list of the member, the peer URL to advertise the rest of the cluster. Initial token, the cluster token. Initial cluster token for the ETC cluster during the restore bootstrap. You will get all this information inside the ETCD YAML. So in the Kubernetes documentation, you won't get that because it is different technology. Like Kubernetes, it is also different. So it is regarding ETCD, which is another software. So we are using that software in Kubernetes for persisting the state of my Kubernetes cluster. You got my point? You don't have to maybe spend a lot of time, maybe why, what, all the stuff. You will end up learning the ETCD as well, the database. But for the sake of if you are going with the exam, so in that scenario, you use this method, maybe try to mug it up and just take help from the YAML and the help command, try to complete that question. So otherwise, what we usually do, we try to explain the concept and we just leave that maybe this is how the things works. Or we going with you prefer to go with some cron jobs, which will take the backup of my Kubernetes cluster, and we from those backups we try to restore in a single command or by using operators in real world. Got my point?
And that's a wrap for today's video. I hope you now feel more confident in maintaining, troubleshooting, and upgrading your clusters while keeping them available and resilient. Also, if you're eager to dive deep into Kubernetes and Docker and get ready for the CKA, CKS, and CKAD certifications, make sure to check out our free masterclass. You can find the link in the description box. So thanks for watching.